From Hargeisa, Somaliland, this is CBA. Welcome to CBA News in Brief with me, Abdillahi Hassan. The Environment and Natural Resources Committee of Somaliland's House of Representatives today summoned the Director of Hargeisa Water Agency. The Director, Mr. Mohammed Ali Darod, briefed the committee on the ongoing project is to expand the water access for the capital in a closed session. The chairman of the committee, MB Mohammed Haji Yusuf Wabeye, and the director briefed the media after the session. MB Mohammed Haji Yusuf Wabeye underlined the importance of increasing water supply to the capital as the population of the city grew tenfold. Director Mohammed Ali Darod said the government is undertaking two ongoing projects to expand water supply for the city. One is concerned with bringing an adequate supply of water to the city to meet the increasing demand from a distance of 23 kilometers. The second project, the director added, is concerned with distributing water inside the city. It entails laying 162 kilometers of pipelines and the construction of local water reservoirs inside the city. The director argued that these projects entail a better water management system which will reduce water waste. The director, however, abstained from giving timelines to the completion of the two projects. Businessmen and elders mediating between the government and opposition parties last evening met officials from Wadani and Uid in Hargeisa. A mediation committee comprising of key businessmen and elderly have today met officials from the opposition parties in a bid to broker a deal between the government and the opposition in Somaliland. The officials from the mediation committee and the representatives of the opposition parties did not disclose the outcome of the meeting convened at a hotel in Hargeisa. The meeting was attended by the party leader of Uid Faisal Al Warabe, Wadani Party Chairman Abdirahman Irro, and other officials from both Uid and Wadani parties. The volunteer mediation committee comprising of key businessmen, elders, and religious leaders have taken it upon themselves to broker a deal between President Musa Hees party and the opposition parties Uid and Wadani, who have disputed the recently sworn-in electoral commission. The mediation committee is spearheading efforts to resolve the stalemate that has caused a political crisis triggered by the dispute over the electoral commission. Two United Nations agencies said Friday some 5,087 Somali refugees have so far returned home from Yemen since it started and assisted spontaneous return. The UN Refugee Agency and the International Organization for Migration said 39 organized departures have now taken place from Yemen to Somalia since the ASR program commenced 2 years ago. The agency said a boat carrying 145 Somali refugees left the port of Aden on Thursday and was due at the port of Berbera on Friday in the latest departure. According to the United Nations, Yemen hosts the world's second largest Somali refugee population, around 250,000 refugees. UNHCR says refugee movements from Somalia to Yemen have been taking place since the 1980s and continued following the outbreak of civil war in Somalia in the early 1990s. President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya has opened the largest airspace for the Kenyan military in Garissa town. Security was beefed up in the northeastern town as the president, accompanied by top military and government officials, arrived for the commissioning. President Uhuru Kenyatta has commissioned the Modika Barracks, Kenya's newest army barracks and home to the Kenya Army 6th Brigade. The barracks, which will be home to 3 army fighting units and 3 support subunits, is part of a program to modernize and improve the capability of the Kenya Defense Forces. President Kenyatta said the government will continue dedicating enough resources and funds to support the Kenya's status as a world-class military that's ready to defend itself. Garissa, which borders Somalia, has been witnessing repeated attacks by militant group Al-Shabaab. Few days ago, an Al-Shabaab attack nearby killed 11 people who were taken off a bus traveling further north to Wajir. The Prime Minister of the Federal Government of Somalia, Hassan Ali Khayri, has arrived in Qatar and has attended the first day of the Doha Forum, which started on Saturday. Khayri, flanked by cabinet members and senior officials, are participating in the Doha Forum 2019, which will be held on December 14 and 15. The Prime Minister previously attended the Doha Forum in 2017 and 2018. The annual Doha Forum is a global platform for dialogue, bringing together leaders in policy to build innovative and action-driven networks. It will bring together leaders from the globe to reimagine governance in multipolar world. This is the second trip by Somalia's Prime Minister to Doha in 2 months. Last month, Khayri traveled to Qatar when he met with Amir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani and discussed ways to further boost the bilateral and development cooperation between the two nations. A year after the political reforms in Ethiopia, journalists in the Somali region are lamenting about difficulties they face when trying to get access to information. Journalists working for independent outlets often complain of exclusion from events and government conferences. A group of journalists today came together in Jigjiga, the administrative capital of the region, to protest the denial of access they so often encounter. They lamented the government for conducting public business behind closed doors. The reporters condemned the government's decision to bar them from attending many parliamentary sessions. Journalists argued that the constitution guarantees them the right to access information to share them with the public. For the past few weeks, journalists in the region were busy holding meetings to coordinate their response to these professional roadblocks they face. Today, they called on the government to reconsider its relationship with the independent media and to refrain from blocking their access to information. Thank you for joining us. That was our news in brief. Stay tuned for our full and more detailed news coverage coming up with Jonas Deco.